Hi, my name's Vince Sheehan, and today I'd like to talk about the 4C Interludes by Britten. And I'd like to go through each of these four short pieces, exploring how the music's put together, looking at the form of this music. I do believe that having some understanding of structure can greatly aid our appreciation and enjoyment of music. So hopefully, if you're interested in this music, this might be of some use to you. Now, Benjamin Britten wrote his opera Peter Grimes in 1944 to 45, and these four C interludes are short pieces taken from this opera. And these four short pieces kind of punctuate the action in the opera, usually at the beginning of the acts. Now, Peter Grimes is about a fisherman who hires these boys to be his apprentice, and things don't go well for them. And there's this ambiguity about how much Peter Grimes is responsible for this, or whether it's just sheer misfortune. But it's a really powerful opera. You should definitely see it if you haven't seen it. It's full of amazing music, and the sea very much is a character in the background of this opera. Benjamin Britten, of course, lived by the sea all of his life. First in Lowestoft, and then later on he moved to Aldborough. He would have had the rhythms of the tides, the taste of salt in the air, the sound of seagulls, the shifting skies above the horizon. All this would have been deeply ingrained in his personality, his psyche. And Benjamin Britten in these four pieces evokes the sea in such a masterful way. The sea in various moods. Now, the first piece is called Dawn. We hear it after the prologue in the opera, just at the beginning of Act 1. And it's an incredibly evocative piece. We begin with this very high melody in the flutes and violins. Kind of coldness and austerity about that melody. The sea in Peter Grimes is very much a blank slate in which the emotions of the drama is projected on, but also something eerily and unsettlingly unhuman, which of course it is. We then have a lively figure in the clarinets, violas and harp. And then we have this brass chorale. Something inhuman about the power of the sea here. The swell of the waves waits for nobody. Something threatening about the sea. Basically, those three ideas are just repeated, and every time they're embellished and varied, gaining in emotional power as the prelude carries on. And there's a coda which kind of combines the ideas in a really satisfying way, although it kind of ends on a question mark. The next interlude, Sunday Morning, is just terrific. I just love this. It's really based on two ideas, which again are repeated, and we begin with these horn calls, which are church bells, the tolling of church bells on a Sunday morning. Kind of thing, and over the top we have this rather twitchy idea. You can imagine a brilliant sunny morning with the sunlight glinting off off the waves. We have this idea. Then we get like these kind of like almost blues notes in there. Just fantastic, I just love it. That kind of thing. Now in contrast to that we have a melody on the violas and cellos. Etc. And over the top we have this kind of this kind of bird-like flute solo. The viola and cello melody actually brings to mind that brass chorale from the first interlude. We then have a return to the A material, that kind of syncopated idea, but this time there's just this kind of enormous energy about it, the unstoppable power of the sea. It's almost like an engine or a machine. It sounds almost minimalist in a way, this music. The trumpet's going. It's just such a terrific moment, it's so exciting. We got these dissonances. And all the time the horns are tolling out those bells, and a gong is added as well. It's just so terrific. We have a return to that that more stately melody we first heard on the violas, this time on the violin. And then we have this fairly lengthy coda, which brings everything back down to 3Ps. The third interlude, Moonlight, is this beautifully moving piece of music with this rocking rhythm, perhaps something of the gentle swell of the tide at night. It's a really amazingly evocative piece of music, this. We have these glints on the waves from the stars and the moon. Basically that rocking idea with that melody with rather modal, almost something of the Renaissance about some of the modal harmonies in this piece. It's just repeated really over and over again. We're kind of really caught up in this moonlit scene with this rocking rhythm. And we have a coda before we're into the storm. And the storm is from Act 1, and it's just such an amazing scene in the opera. The villagers are in this pub. They start singing this round, this kind of folk song. Old Joe has gone fishing, and then the storm just breaks outside and Peter Grimes comes in dramatically, soaked. The storm really is a kind of binary form piece with a coda. The A section is just full of incredibly exciting music in kind of roughly E flat minor. That's chief among the ideas. And then we hear this rising idea in the trombones. Before we're back to that main tune again. We have this bit where the music breaks down into this jerking rhythm. Almost like a Tom and Jerry feel to it. And finally we kind of reach the eye of the storm where it goes rather calm, eerily quiet. You have these glissandi on the harps. And the music kind of has this that kind of rhythm. Then we hear that tune again, that kind of grand glissando tune, before we have this incredibly exciting coda where we have return to the storm music. It's very brief, and we have these kind of loud E flat minor chords. And then that ends Britten's 4C interludes. Please check out the form in the description underneath, particularly if you follow with a score. The bar numbers are there. Thank you for watching this. If this is your kind of thing, please click like and subscribe. And if there's any pieces you'd like me to look at, please put them in the comments below. Thank you. Bye.